Hi there, and welcome back to week 2 in our Social Work 503 Interpersonal Processes class here at Widener University. So congratulations for making it through your first week of graduate school here in Widener's MSW program. I am enjoying watching your introductory videos, so keep up the great work interacting with each other here in our online platform and within your dyad and the group meetings, which will be coming up shortly. So this week is all about group dynamics. So what I invite you to do is to get started by taking a look at our learning resources here, specifically the objectives, readings, and media. So you want to make sure that you carefully read all of our week 2 objectives as well as all of the week 2 readings. These week 2 readings are fabulous. They're going to be a really helpful groundwork that are going to help you write your paper regarding emotional intelligence. So the first article is by Morrison. It's entitled Emotional Intelligence, Emotion and Social Work, Context, Characteristics, Complications, and Contributions. There's also another fantastic required article entitled The Impact of a College Freshman's Social and Emotional Learning Curriculum on Student Learning Outcomes. It's an exploratory study. And in here, you'll find a short description of each of the 5 domains of emotional intelligence. So that's something that you want to make sure that you're exploring in our assignment, which I'll go over more in depth a little bit later on. But you're remembering that I also reviewed that assignment, and you can review it more in depth underneath the major assignments page that is located on the main page of our course. So our third and final reading this week is a writing resource, which is fantastic. It's titled 43 Embarrassing Grammar Mistakes Even Smart People Make. Definitely encourage that you read that one again and again. That's something that you want to keep handy. Now, I know that writing can seem cumbersome. I'll tell you, I just actually finished writing a textbook, and I have to tell you that everyone makes writing errors. I went through a revision process, edited one particular chapter 5 different times, and I was still finding mistakes, typos, grammar, those kinds of things. So paying attention to that is really important. I also encourage you to download Grammarly. They have a free resource, and that is something that's great at helping you identify typos, spelling mistakes, grammar issues, those kinds of things. Because although we're not aiming for perfection here, you really want to make sure that you're turning in and submitting high quality papers here. It is an expectation. Widener it's a great program. We're very rigorous. So you want to make sure that you look and read this writing resource. It's going to be very helpful not only for this class, but also for all of the future classes that you're taking here in our graduate program. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to watch these week 2 videos from Dr. Beth Barrel here. These are amazing videos where you learn a lot about the stages of group development, specifically pseudo-community, chaos, emptying, and community. Dr. Barrel tells a couple of stories about how the subconscious of a group can work together during the chaos stage. And our first group truly is our family, our family of origin, and then comes school. So our early experiences in life really help shape how we approach group work, how we show up as leaders within a group as well as members within a group. So this is a fantastic video that I know that you're probably going to refer to throughout the class. And again, right here a note, I wanted to remind you of that. If you're having difficulty hearing Dr. Barrel in the videos, please use headphones. That will definitely help increase the volume. So moving right along, you have one discussion board assignment this week about family and group experiences. So your initial post prompt, we ask you, what are your early experiences of family and groups? And how do you think these affected you in terms of your own group participation and leadership styles? So you want to make sure that you're following up with at least one classmate, preferably a classmate who doesn't yet have any responses. And how do your own experiences resonate with the experiences of your peer? What similarities and differences do you see between your experiences and that of your colleague? So your initial post is due on Thursday by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your follow-up post is due between Friday and definitely due by Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, this is a graded and required assignment. You're remembering that a sufficient post is a minimum of 200 words and a maximum of 500 words. And a sufficient response post is a minimum of 75 words with a maximum of 150 words. So again, you want to make sure that you check out the grading rubric and the discussion forum directions just to make sure that you're giving yourself a chance to gain all of the points to maximize your success here. And now let's shift gears a little bit and review our assignment. We have a week 2 assignment, your emotional intelligence paper, which is due this Sunday by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you want to make sure that you write this paper using APA style. So you're remembering that papers that don't have proper APA formatting, which includes a title page, reference pages, headings, page numbers, are going to be returned ungraded. So papers that have been returned must be revised and resubmitted within 4 days. Hopefully this is not going to be an issue. What I strongly encourage you to do is to watch this video by Professor Norton, where she walks you step by step through the highlights of formatting a paper in APA style. So I know for many of you, you may feel like you've already mastered APA style in undergrad. For those of you who have been out of school for a while, I strongly recommend that you watch this video to help give yourself a refresher, because APA style is not only really important in this class, but it's going to be an important thing to implement in every paper, in every class moving forward in our MSW program. So again, I went over the major highlights about this emotional intelligence paper that's due this week in your welcome to the course video. But for detailed information about this emotional intelligence paper, you want to go back to our main course page and look under major projects and assignments and navigate or click on the emotional intelligence paper. And here you're going to see the rubric. So just to give another quick summary, this is a relatively short paper. It's about 3 to 4 pages long. And again, that's 3 to 4 pages double spaced, where you're going to be integrating information that you learned about emotional intelligence with your own assessment of your personal emotional intelligence. So this particular paper requires 2 scholarly resources. So one of these sources must be that Morrison reading that I reviewed just a few moments ago. And then another one can be any reading of your choice related to emotional intelligence. So this second article could come from our syllabus. As I mentioned in the welcome video when I reviewed this assignment, this would be a great opportunity for you to get some practice utilizing the Widener library. You're remembering that you can always reach out to text a librarian, chat a librarian, email a librarian on the Wolfgang Widener website here. So I encourage you to do that. Really get started using the library, because that's going to be an important resource here. So again, just to reiterate, APA style is really important here. You want to make sure that you are meeting all the criteria that is spelled out here on the rubric. So as you can see here, having a title page is a requirement, having that references page is a requirement, where you want to list those 2 references for sure and any other additional references that you are utilizing. However, you're only required to use 2 references for this paper, one being the Morris article, the second one being any article of your choice related to emotional intelligence. You also want to make sure that You're paying attention to your clarity of writing, grammar, as well as APA in-text citations. And then you also want to make sure that in your paper that you're defining emotional intelligence and describing its relevance to social work. You want to make sure that you're providing a definition of each domain and an in-depth evaluation of your emotional learning, focusing on the domains of relationship, tolerance, flexibility, self-management, and emotional awareness. So you really want to make sure that you're addressing all 5 of those domains in this paper. And again, you want to make sure that you're integrating that Morris article and at least one additional reading from the literature. So again, that additional reading can come directly from our syllabus, or you can do that library search. So this paper is 20 points possible, and you use this rubric here really as a guide to make sure that you are achieving all of the points, meeting all of the requirements. So let's talk now about the week 2 dyad exercises. So you actually have 2 different dyad discussions this week. So one about nonverbal communication, and in your assigned dyad pair, I invite you to discuss how you communicate both verbally and non-verbally, that you are reflecting emotion, that you care, and that you're with the person. So, examples of how you may do this is you may or may not make eye contact with someone else. You may sit forward in a chair, lean toward a person. You may mirror somebody's body language ever so slightly to demonstrate that you're in tune with them. So, you really want to discuss, we all do this in different ways. So you want to be discussing with your partner the unique ways that you communicate both verbally and non-verbally. For the second dyad exercise, it's a listening dyad exercise. So in your assigned dyad pair, I want you to engage in the following exercise. First, setting a timer for 5 minutes, both individuals will talk to each other about any topic that you choose. So after 5 minutes, end the conversation. So how was that for you? Did you get a chance to express yourself? Did you feel the other person had a chance to talk? What other observations did you notice when you did this exercise? So now for the second part of this exercise, you want to set the timer again for 5 minutes. This time, only one of the partners is to speak during that time. The other partner will not converse, but can use encouraging body languages and utterances, such as, yeah, only meant to encourage. Again, such as, oh, wow, etc. So after 5 minutes, switch roles. And at the end of that second 5-minute period, discuss how it felt to talk without being interrupted, and how it felt to listen that intently. So finally, let's take some time and review our week 2 small group discussion board and meeting. So this week you're going to meet with your group, get to know each other, work out any kinks in technology or scheduling, and begin to work on your group project. So you want to use this discussion forum as well as scheduled teleconference session to communicate with each other. So one member of your small group must complete that small group process form, which is linked right here in blue, and upload that form to this discussion board. So I encourage you to take turns completing that small group discussion progress form there. You're remembering that only one person needs to turn it in, not everyone. So it's best practice to really rotate and have different people submit that each week. So you're remembering that I am here. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I want you to be successful in our class, and I hope that you have a fantastic week.